John Mumford Show is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you, friends know when to say when.
Hi, once again, everyone. I'm Randy Ray, and welcome to the show. Doesn't the sun seem a little brighter today? The air's a little easier to breathe because Coach John Mumford, Southeast, got a win against Austin Peay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Randy. It's a great win, especially for our players. I was proud of them. We've faced a lot of adversity the last 3 weeks, and some of it caused, through our own hand, but very proud of the way we came back and played last night. I thought all 3 phases of the game played very well. We did have a couple breakdowns in the punt game that I'm very concerned about, but I'm sure will be corrected, and that gave Austin Peay 9 points. Defense pitched a shutout in the first half and came back, and we knew Austin Peay would be a strong second half team, and then the offense.
John Mumford Show. John Mumford Show is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you, friends know when to say when.
Hi, once again, everyone. I'm Randy Ray, and welcome to the show. Doesn't the sun seem a little brighter today? The air's a little easier to breathe because Coach John Mumford, Southeast, got a win against Austin Peay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Randy. It's a great win, especially for our players. I was proud of them. We've faced a lot of adversity the last 3 weeks, and some of it caused, through our own hand, but very proud of the way we came back and played last night. I thought all 3 phases of the game played very well. We did have a couple breakdowns in the punt game that I'm very concerned about, but I'm sure will be corrected, and that gave Austin Peay 9 points. Defense pitched a shutout in the first half and came back, and we knew Austin Peay would be a strong second half team, and then the offense just drove the ball. We had 12 minutes more time of possession, and we ran the ball like we're capable of, and that made for a great victory last night.
Yeah, really controlled the game, and let's get this one out of the way right away. You stuck with Shane Kennedy at quarterback. Now, Fred Hostin came on and finished the previous game, and there was some Monday morning quarterbacking out there in the public, but you stuck with Shane Kennedy, and he had 3 touchdowns and threw for a TD. What a night. Yeah,
it was. Shane's a 5th-year senior, and I think he's been here and paid his dues a long time, and that's not taking anything away from Fred, because we all know what Fred has done for our football program. But, Shane, we wanted to see what happened when our offense was clicking or when our offensive line was blocking, and, the young man responded. He's a competitor, and, very, very happy for him as well as the rest of the entire football team.
It is one of the more timely wins, I think, to this point in Division I. It was a big win at Austin Peay, and we'll check the highlights from Clarksville, Tennessee when we come back. Night to take on the Governors of Austin Peay and Southeast in desperate need of a win, looking for your first win of the season. And, Coach, this is the 3rd time in a row you've knocked off Austin Peay. You've really got their number, huh?
Well, I'd like to keep their number, too, Randy. It was like you said, a timely win for us, and struggling over the past 3 weeks, it can create a little hole of doubt in everybody's mind, and, it's been tense around the office, and some by design, some not, and it's it's the best medicine that we could have, and it's what I told the players this week, that if, I can't say anything, I can't put anything into words to ease what's happened. We just have to go win, and they really did it, and they did it in fine fashion.
I've heard you say many times when you're on the road, you go out there and take control first, and it helps so much. And let's go ahead and check the highlights. That's exactly what the Indians did in Clarksville last night. They took control. And as you take the field, Coach, I know your ball club are really wanting to taste victory here. This was a big game.
Yes, it was. One thing we do, a lot of people now in the coin toss, Randy, they defer their decision until the second half. And if we win it, which we did last night, we like to get our offense out there and get going. We have a very good or very high percentage of successful scoring drives when we take the ball the first time. So we like to do that, and have done that. Did it at Eastern Illinois, and just moved right down the field, and then did it the other night at Austin Peay. So you see Deion Tyler had over 140 yards rushing last night, and then Shane had a lot of big plays on this right here. That was a critical 3rd down play to keep the drive going, and quarterback draw was real successful. Dion gets out in the open right here, and you see he's a very aggressive runner, gives a little stiff arm there. Good downfield blocking by our receivers. Austin Peay plays a lot of man coverage, and here's Shane just walks in on the quarterback draw, and we go up 7-0. But they play a lot of man coverage, and, you know, when you just have the receivers run people off, it's easy to break the long runs. And Dion had about 2 or 3 30, 35-yard runs last night.
Your defense held, and that gave your offense a chance to get more, and here's some of what happened.
Yep, great balance right there, and, you know, there's, you know, good coaching. My coach Gilbert, as far as having Dion get his hand down and keep his balance. With their blitz pressure, we tried to throw the screen a time or two, and just didn't work very well. Here we just total breakdown in protection. They block it, and they're going to run it in. And, you know, I felt so bad for the defense in the first half because they had pitched a shutout, yet there were still 9 points on the board. And you're going to see those 9 points were a direct result of punt team failure. So Ronaldo Lampkin's on a nice catch right there from Shane. Thought Shane threw the ball well. We hit Stanley. Caught him in a coverage that we could exploit the flat, and hit Stanley Parker on the little flare route. Dion, if Dion holds the ball right there, he's very frustrated with that play because he bobbled the handoff. Here we have Shane go again, and he's going to get his second touchdown on the quarterback draw. Dion's got to be a little careful there. Almost clipped him, but good call and by our offense, and took it right in. Big play for us.
What a big turn, too. I mean, Austin Peay scores, you come right back and score again. Now we're going to see your offense not moving here, and I should say Austin Peay with the ball here, Coach, but a 7-7 game at this point.
Yeah, it was. It was 7-7. I was, you know, or it's 14-7 now, and because Austin Peay scored on the punt, and then we came back on Shane's second draw. But I was real proud of our offense, the way they came back. Here's Marquise coming through. Marquise had a huge game last night, and great job on blocking the field goal. There's Stanley Parker. Stanley, you see him with his helmet off right there, and you see him holding his eye. He was our only casualty last night. He got hit by a helmet celebrating on the sideline. But, you know, real proud of our offense coming back after block punt. They fumbled the football, and Big Albert Bateman jumps on it, and, you know, that's a huge turnover for us and big momentum to get the offense back out on the field. Absolutely.
Your defense helped your team a lot. This was a team effort, not just a new play in the book here as we see with Kennedy.
No question right there. Again, Shane gets big yardage on the quarterback draw, and we just, you know, blitzing team like that, that was the way we slowed them down the other night, and it was very effective for us. Here we run the boot, and Shane's going to get them into the corner and put us up 21. Great block right there. You see the player on the ground. I believe that was Brent Anderson came back and made a heck of a block to spring Shane.
A couple things happen in the next series. Austin Peay here back to pass, and your defense going to score again.
Yep, that was right before the end of the half, and I believe that left us with 20 seconds left, and Marquise, you know, Marquise comes up with a big interception. Good read on the ball. Their receiver went in or up, and they threw the out, and he was right there. And again, huge momentum for our football team going in at halftime.
Yeah, what a big thing to happen just before half, and now you have the 28-9 lead at halftime, Coach, and the statistic that really jumps out when you look at the halftime stats, the fact that you had the ball over 19 minutes, time of possession was huge.
No question. We've talked about that all year, and we've been on the wrong side of the time of possession, Randy, and it was good to do that. It helps your defense out, and when your offense is out there driving, you know, your opponent can't score. So we're very pleased with that statistic. The rushing, I believe we had about 340 yards rushing, and a little over 50 or 60 yards passing.
Yeah, and a couple things happened. We can't show all the highlights because of time restrictions, but you had the also Austin Peay going for it on 4th down in one of their drives, and your defense stands up and says, no, that's a key play.
That's right. Austin Peay, our defense rallied up and stopped it. We did have a bad snap on a punt to give them a safety, and you didn't show it, but Justin Terrell made a great play the ball went into the end zone, and he just ran back there and kicked it out for the safety instead of giving them, you know, a chance for a touchdown or the field position inside the 10.
That's right. The good news is that we have a lot of offense to show, and that's what's taking the time today, but that's pleasant. Let's take a break, and we'll be back in just a moment. That hasn't happened too many times this year, so that's a pleasant change right there.
It was great. The kids were very excited at halftime, and before I could hear them as I was walking to the locker room, when I was ready to go in and say, hey, this is not over, because Austin Peay has been a big second-half football team, and throwing the football, they've just, you know, they came back and beat Western Kentucky the week prior, so you know, we had to warn them of that, but it was good to see our seniors were in there talking about that already, saying, you know, Dion got up and said, hey, the score's 0-0. We got to come out and continue to play hard, and it's good to have that type of leadership. Yeah,
and that's big because you mentioned we're making this sound like you just walked, but really Austin Peay started moving the ball late in that game, and if you hadn't scored that last TD, it was going to be very tight.
No question about it, and I think the last TD we hit Ronaldo in the end zone on a quarter route, so it was, you know, it was very timely, and, you know, we expected them to move the ball a little bit, and they did. They got a few plays on the square end and moved the ball down the field, but defense kept their poise, and, you know, I was very, very pleased with the way things turned out.
Well, let's go ahead and check the highlights, second-half highlights from the game. Southeast with the lead, trying to hold on and keep control of this ball game. Now, you held and on defense, and so you've got the ball first-time offense here in the second half.
That's right. That's Dion on the sweep, and they were giving us a great job of blocking the sweep by our line and tackles, and I guess Shane got a little bump right there. I don't know who took the worst of that. I guess their guy did.
He wasn't wearing any pads. He had to.
But we run the quarterback draw again. I believe this is a bit, I think our third down conversions were very, very good.
Right there's a third down, Coach, and that's a big play. We saw Kennedy Keaton down Tyler with a big 19-yarder.
Yep. Dion, a lot of moves, running very hard, and Dion was kind of sick on the sidelines, and I don't know if it's something we ate in pregame or what, but you know, I think he really, you know, gutted it up real well and ran very hard. Ball's knocked down. We had B.A. Brent Anderson open, and I think we tried to hit the fade to John. It's just almost right there, and come back, and Ryan Devins comes in and drills a field goal, and about 25 yards, hit it with authority. And we had a little pressure on the left side, and Ryan kept his cool and knocked it through.
There you go, 31-9 now. Southeast much in command, but Austin Peay scored and got a two-pointer. It was 31-17 as we jumped to the fourth quarter.
Yep, and again, you see us running the sweep. Good job by our offensive coaches noticing that we could get around the corner, and I believe we're going to, here we, you know, they come up on the outside, and we try to hit them up the middle, and Dion was very frustrated right here. He's trying to set up his block, and the guy had the angle on him from behind. You know, but tried to set up the block on his receiver. Great throw and catch and route to Renato Lampkins by Shane, and super protection. So, you know, that was a big score for us because it just gave us a little added cushion as Austin Peay was starting to drive the ball on us a little bit.
Yeah, you bet. You know, we're going to see Austin Peay get something here on this drive. You're up 38-17 now. But going back to Shane Kennedy, he only threw the ball 18 times, but he made them count.
Yes, he did. And that's, you know, we talk about the high completion ratio or percentage, and right here we chase a flat and they hit the curl. But that's real important. They run the reverse, and I thought we were in good shape right here, and I believe we keep them short of the first down by about 2 yards. They're going to come. They did a nice job running the option on us. Quarterback, this guy's a freshman, and I think if they'll continue to surround him with good people, is really going to be a fine athlete for Austin Peay in the future as well as right now.
Well, that's a fourth down. They go for it, and they get it, and it's a 38-23 game, and there's still around 8 minutes left.
Yes, there is, and we ran some time off the clock. Then Justin pinned him down right here with a punt, and we're going to force him to punt, and we're going to get the ball back, I believe, Randy, with about, if I remember correctly, with about 4 minutes left, and, and run it out. And you know, right here is this is a great job by our secondary. We had the quarterback running around several times, and puts a lot of pressure on your secondary. And this whole game plan was tough for our DBs due to the fact that, you know, with the option and the way they throw the football, you have to be very disciplined, especially on the play action.
Now, here's where you're trying to run out the clock, and the big fake. This takes care of the game.
Yeah, it does. There was a minute or so left, and with our punt team situation last night, we didn't, I believe they called a timeout to stop the clock, and I told, hey, that's fine. I'll take as many of those as we can get. A little chilly, but well worth it. But we felt, you know, toward the end of the game there that we discussed several options, trying to have them, you know, go no play penalty, trying to get them to jump off sides, which we did a time or two. And Coach Sabatini, I got to give him a lot of credit. He came out and nudged me to do that as far as the fake punt, but it was well executed and just held on to the ball, and Stanley had a chance to go on that one too.
I know he's thrilled over that. It worked. Might see that again. Huh? It was a good time to try it. Is it still in the playbook?
No, no question. It's always been there. It's just you know, having the wherewithal to go ahead and call it, and we decided to do that. I'm always concerned about faking a punt in the field position, because if it doesn't work, being an old defensive coach, I'm always concerned about the position it puts the defense in. But you know, we didn't want to put our punt team out there again, and felt that if we did get it, we'd run out the clock and they wouldn't have any more shots at the end zone.
Now, a couple things in this ball game. One, Shane Kennedy, the quarterback draw, such a big play. Now, did you see something in the Austin Peay defense you thought you could do that, or just explain us?
Well, they did. They really get upfield hard, and you know, it was a situation where we felt we had to have something to slow them down. And, you know, not very much unlike the week before at Murray. Had we had it, maybe we'd have slowed Murray down a little bit. Of course, they beat Middle 34-0 as well, so Murray's a real deal. But when a team is attacking like that, you have to do some things.